Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. Today I'll be introducing Bill 30, the Service Alberta Statutes Amendment Act, 2024. Joining me today are Jason Kuzu, President of the Alberta Electrical Contractors Association, and Hugh Willis, Co-Chair of Government Advocacy for CCI North, Alberta. Alberta's government continues to seek ways to make life easier for Albertans, and that's what this legislation is all about. Condominium Property Act Bill 30 proposes amendments that will clarify and strengthen the Condominium Property Act, as well as the Prompt Payment and Construction Lien Act under Service Alberta and Red Tape Reduction, as well as corresponding amendments to the Public Works Act under the Ministry of Infrastructure. Now, I'll start with the proposed changes to the Condominium Property Act. We have heard from key stakeholders, including condominium owners, as well as board members, managers, that there's urgent need to improve the governance of condominium communities. We've taken this feedback to improve condominium governance, provide additional measures for consumer protection, and establish an easy access mechanism for dispute resolution for condominium owners. If passed, Bill 30 will also bring forward previously raised proposals, such as establishing a simple form of voting to allow boards to resolve matters more efficiently. Bill 30 also proposes to enable chargebacks to be treated as contributions. This means costs would be collected directly from those who incur costs, protecting owners from increasing condominium fees that would otherwise be required to cover the costs. Many stakeholders will be pleased to hear that Bill 30 would provide the long-awaited authority to establish a condominium dispute resolution tribunal, a tribunal dedicated to resolving common condominium disputes, would provide an affordable and accessible alternative to taking disputes to the courts, particularly for those matters that regularly occur and are not typically taken through the court process. This would improve access to justice for all condominium communities, reflecting Albertans as well as stakeholders' feedback on the need for an effective dispute resolution mechanism. In addition, Bill 30 includes clarifying changes to the Condominium Property Act that will help improve condominium governance and enhance consumer protections. For example, the Condominium Dispute Resolution Tribunal will make it easier and more affordable for condominium owners and corporations to resolve common disputes outside the court system. Also, ensuring chargebacks to owners for damage they have caused are treated as contributions or condominium fees will better protect the overall financial health and well-being of the condominium community. Bill 30 also offers amendments that would clarify language and eliminate ambiguity within the Prompt Payment and Construction Lien Act. Since the Prompt Payment and Construction Lien Act came into force in 2022, ongoing engagement with industry stakeholders has revealed opportunities to make the legislation better. If passed, Bill 30 would allow consulting professionals to opt out of the PPCLA lien holdback requirements and add clarifying language to eliminate ambiguity. This means consultants who opt out of the lien back hold requirements will also be paid promptly. It would also create further protections in the construction industry by clarifying that a contract would be considered complete when the final payment has been made in full, after which adjudication would be available for 30 days. Through our engagement with stakeholders, it also became clear that the current prompt payment rules that apply to private sector construction projects need to be extended to government-owned construction projects under the Public Works Act. Alberta contractors deserve prompt payment, and Bill 30 is proof that the Alberta government isn't just listening, but willing to act swiftly and lead by example. The proposed amendments to the Public Works Act would create one set of prompt payment rules and processes for public and private sector construction projects. It would also stipulate that as of spring 2025, all new contracts must align with the requirements of the Prompt Payment and Construction Lien Act. Together, the proposed amendments to the Prompt Payment and Construction Lien Act and the Public Works Act will help keep money flowing through the construction chain in private and public projects, as well as ensure contractors have access to adjudication services. Through the Condominium Property Act and the Prompt Payment and Construction Lien Act may not appear closely connected, the proposed amendments in Bill 30 will significantly impact Albertans by addressing two crucial aspects of daily life: their homes, and for those in the construction sector, their means of earning a living. Bill 30 presents an opportunity to make life easier for many Albertans. We have taken direct feedback from Albertans and applied it to actionable amendments that will improve their day-to-day lives. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Minister. That brings us to the end of the formal portion of our news conference. Now let's move on to the media and question and answer portion. As a reminder to all reporters present or on the phone, we have the following people available to answer questions for you. We've got Minister Dale Nally, Jason Kuzu, President of the Alberta Electrical Contractors Association, and Hugh Willis, Co-Chair of Government Advocacy for CCI North Alberta. We have time for one question and one follow-up, and I just ask media to identify yourself and your outlet and let us know to whom you're directing your question. Let's start in the room, and then we'll go to the reporters on the line. Go ahead.
Hi, Cindy Tran with the Edmonton Journal. I'm just wondering if you could talk about what the timeline would look like for the establishment of the tribunal.
So we obviously, assuming that this passes, we have to write the regulations for it. And then shortly after the regulations are written, we'll look at getting it out. But I have made it clear to the department that this is a top priority to get it out there as fast as possible, just because Albertans have been asking for it.
And my second question is, again, in regards to the tribunal. So previously, Glubish had said developing the tribunal or being delayed boiled down to cost. So what would the government be contributing to?
So as you may know, in Budget 2024, we received $8 million that will pay, $8 million over 3 years that will pay for the startup of the tribunal. And then after 3 years, it'll be paid for by condominium owners. It's going to be determined in regulation what that cost is. We're estimating about $1 per unit per door.
Sure, and Catherine Gurkowski, Alberta Today. You mentioned this dispute resolution tribunal has been long anticipated, but
yeah.
You don't have a lot of details for us today. Can you give me anything about what this tribunal is going to look like, how many people will sit on it,
yeah.
Who appoints them? Yeah,
those are all questions that we're going to address during the regulations. This is just the enabling legislation that will allow for the dispute tribunal, put into place, give it some guardrails, but those specific technicalities will be defined in regulation.
Okay, and chargebacks, that's been very ambiguous even in case law. Can you give me some of the examples you've heard of how this has affected condo owners and how these changes to treat them as contributions is going to change things? Sure,
there's an infinite amount of permutations of how that could apply. I'll just give you a general example. If a condo owner had a guest that damaged an entranceway door, and this would make it easier for the condo corporation to go after that unit for the costs, so that it's not ultimately, doesn't fall to all the condo owners to have to pay for.
Okay, if there's nobody else in the room, can we put through the first caller?
There are no phone questions at this time. Please proceed.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. That concludes the time we have today. If you have additional questions or follow-ups, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My contact information is on the bottom of the news release. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.